glad you brought up the topic of this continent, because South Africa particularly has quite a more conservative culture than, let's say, America, where Caitlyn Jenner is the topic. That's why we're having this conversation.
Yes.
What's it like for a trans person in such a conservative society?
Tsepo has already touched, like, at school level, particularly in primary schools, there's a lot of bullying that gender non-conforming people experience. The bullying is perpetrated sometimes by teachers, where where teachers will not reprimand other learners who bully this child, and as a result now you find that the person has to drop out of school very early. But some people maybe who are grown-ups and you come out and you say, I'm transgender, this is who I am, sometimes you stand to lose it all. You stand to lose your family, you stand to lose your church, you stand to lose your friends. In other cases, people stand to lose their jobs. You know, say for instance, somebody like Caitlyn was a member of ASAPS and is saying now, I'm a lady. And you find that institutions like those will say, here in this institution, this is how our men behave, this is how they look, this is what they dress like, what. And so for somebody like Caitlyn, they might say, okay, if that's the case, then you need to leave the force, you know. So it is in different workspaces where people are not allowed to transition or to be who they are. Then that's where then organizations like ours, we come in to support the person to be able to claim their rights, because in South Africa, our constitution and our laws protect people regardless of their sexual orientation and gender identity. But in South Africa, or even in the continent at large, we have scarcity of resources, because to transition, well, it happens in different levels. I mean, it happens, for instance, at a social level where the person dress up like the opposite sex and live life like that. But it goes further on where the person really start now with body modification, and the person must take hormonal therapy to start altering their body, and eventually the person might decide, I want to do surgeries and change body parts and stuff like that. And all those are very costly. I mean, the state is supposed to be providing those, but we find that in many instances such services are not readily available. I will give an example in point. In Groote Hospital in Cape Town, they do have a transgender clinic, but you find that the list is way long.
Really?
Yeah, and so you find that people who can do these things easily are actually privileged people with monies, where if you go to a private clinic today, they can give you the service today with you don't have to wait so long, you have cash. So you find that many people who suffer these delays are people from our backgrounds, people who don't have such big monies lying around.